State Senator Gary LeBeau. Gary, thanks so much for joining us. I didn't realize how long you had actually been in the state legislature.
Well, I've been there a while, but I think on a statewide political basis, I'm a relatively new face.
In what way?
Well, how many times have I've been on this program a couple times over the course of the years, but I haven't really worked on running for statewide office. It has not been an ambition of mine previously, and now I'm considering it.
What was it that did you just decide one day that you wanted to run for governor?
Well, I've become frustrated. I've become frustrated with the state of our economy. I am the chairman of the Commerce Committee at the General Assembly, the Senate chair, and I became frustrated with the kind of a lack of vision that we have for a statewide economy. And I believe I have one. I believe it's one of the things I can bring to a race and to really improve the state, to help create jobs, to help create income, to help create value. And it's one of the three things that I think that I can bring to a statewide race.
Pretty ambitious, considering we're in a huge budget crisis. Some would say, why would anybody want to jump in and try to tackle that?
Well, my whole life has been built on service. As I mentioned, for 36 years I've been a teacher, an administrator. I was the founder of an alternative high school program in East Hartford called Synergy, which is the most successful alternative school program in the Northeast. I've done a variety of things within the schools, mostly teaching, always with kids. And I feel that time has come where I have spent those years that you mentioned in the Senate and in the House, that I've developed a set of skills, a set of knowledge about the economy. I've been the chairman of the Commerce Committee for the last 12 years. I'm going on my 13th year this year as chair of Commerce Committee. And I have done some really significant things. I was the person who's actually had the first press conference with a Republican, Kathy Cook, regarding the BRAC Commission and trying to ensure that we had a reaction. I was trying to be not reactive but proactive with the BRAC Commission. I was the person who said, let's put $100 million into stem cell research. The first person to say that. I was out front on manufacturing and helping manufacturing in the state, both through a set of programs and by reducing the tax on manufacturers, where we were one of only 4 states in the country that had a tax on manufacturing machinery and equipment. And I worked for 5 years, took 5 years to get that tax eliminated. In doing those things, one of the things that I become aware of is just how much power the governorship has, and how difficult it is to really try to lead from the legislature. The governor has the cards. She has the power of the budget. She has the power of the media. She can go directly to the people, and I think that that's important. I think we're in a permanent fiscal crisis in the state, and there are some things that we have to do to fix it. One of them is we have to repair our economy, and we need a vision of a high-income, high-value-added economy. The second thing we have to do is we have to look at creating a better government. You know, it's ironic, we've had, of one sort or another, Republican governors for 20 years. And during that period, and Republicans always talk about having government act like a business. And yet during that 20 years, there's been no real change in the way government is operated. Now, I give the governor credit right now for making some consolidations, but consolidations are not necessarily the answer. What we need is a process that brings people in, that brings in the workers particularly. And we do this in industry. Kaizen, Q groups, quality groups. David Osborne talks about this. It can be done in state government. It's been done in Washington. It's been done in Wisconsin. It's been done in counties that are larger than Connecticut. And we can get more value out of our state government. We can, not just to reduce cost, but to get more bang for our buck. And that's really important. What do you think is wrong
with Governor Rowell's vision?
I don't think she has a vision. I think right now she's a caretaker. She's trying to muddle through. That may be the best thing we can do. One of the things that happened in the year 2005, I proposed a bill that we would set up a strategic planning process for the state of Connecticut. That has, until finally, 2 years ago, the Rowell administration embraced that idea. And that's good. But you know when that report is due? The report's coming in June of this year. And we needed that report last year as the economy started falling apart. We needed to, because there's so much that we need to do in the state of Connecticut that can be done better, and that's the kind of, you know, and I really don't want to focus on Governor Rell. I just think it's important to get these ideas out there, and if I do decide to run, these are the things that I'm going to be talking about. These are the things I think it's important to run on ideas, and it's not going to be about Gary LeBeau. It's going to be about the ideas that I bring, and I'll be happy if somebody else, to some degree, I'd love to be governor. That'd be a wonderful honor. But I'd be happy if some others pick up on my ideas and talk about how to create, and accept my vision of a high value added state, a place where we have a lot of technical jobs. We have tremendous resources in the state. We have the highest educated public, the highest educated population in the country. We have some of the highest patents per capita. We have great technology, Pfizer, UTRC, but we don't use that base to try to go to the next level, to create new industries. And that's part of what we should be doing, because we're never going to be a cheap state. I hope not, an inexpensive state. We like high incomes, and that means a high cost of living because people have more money. So we spend it, we drive the prices up, but we're never going to have cheap energy. We're up in the Northeast. We're caught in the corner of the country. We don't want refineries.
Are you confident we'll create enough green jobs?
Well, that's one of the things I've worked on. I've been one of the major advocates for the fuel cell industry, hydrogen industry, the nanotechnology. I mean, those are all the things that I've been working on, and I think that's part of what we have to be ready for. And actually, I've got bills, and I'm working with Senator John Fonfara on a very important fuel cell energy bill. And a couple of other bills that are going to bring, we hope, get us ready for the dollars that may come from the federal administration.
A tough arena you face. You have some Democratic candidates who have a lot more name recognition. Susan Bisowitz, Stanford Mayor Daniel Malloy, among two, James Amon, former Speaker of the House. How do you get your name out there and let people know who you are?
Well, thank you for letting me on Channel 3 this morning. That's a start. And I'll be out. I mean, it's almost 18 months before there would be a primary, if there would be a primary. There's plenty of time to be out there talking to people, talking to Democratic town committees, talking to civic groups, talking to a variety of groups, and talking about the message that I'm talking about. One other thing I wanted to add, Susan, I don't know where our time is, but
you have a few minutes.
Okay. I talked about building a better economy. I talked about building a better government. Something else we have to do is we have to rebuild the family. One of the things I've been working on is this thing called the Fatherhood Initiative at the Capitol. Very important that we bring fathers back into families. And, you know, we have a statistic that came out last year from the census. Over 50% of the children born to women 30 and under were born out of wedlock. Where is that bringing us? And what does that mean for government services in the future? We can't have those kinds of numbers, without having a tremendous drain on our fiscal resources. And we're not going to have those fiscal resources in the future. I believe we are in an era of permanent fiscal crisis, and we have to react to that.
I thank you so much. I hate to interrupt you, but we're all out of time. We hope you'll come back again and let us know when you formally announce your candidacy.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us today. I'm Susan Raff, inviting you to join us here on Channel 3 next Sunday morning at 11, when more newsmakers will face the state.